back. Oh, hello everybody. My name is Dylan Terrence Matthews. I'm co-founder of Matthews Radio, and I have the other co-founder sitting next to me.
My name is Valerie Matthews. Hello, world.
So, we were recording a video. Software was a little haywire.
Yeah. But we are so happy
To announce that we have a new feature added to our radio station. You guys can now request your songs on our website.
I'm pretty sure the moment that they know about this, they're going to be freaking out. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can finally play Jesus' Life. And then when it finally comes on, they'll be like, honey, Jesus' Life is on.
There are set increments on how often those requests can be played because of royalty fees and all of that. So, we do have a list. You guys can. We have a list of over 1,200 songs, 1,200 different recordings. Even our recorded archives that we record, you guys can request it too. So,
in case you want to listen to our infamous blooper hour.
Yeah, our 10-minute blooper hour that we recorded before before Halloween.
We're gonna be doing more blooper hours. I mean, Blooperville, blooper hour, whichever way you want to call it.
True. Yeah, whichever you'd like to call it. I mean,
you gotta give us a topic so we can goof on about it. Like, you know, maybe traffic jams, how annoying they can be.
Yeah, they can be, but they have to be family friendly.
I know.
If you guys have any stories that you guys would like to share regarding life in general, as long as they're appropriate, I guess you could say. As long as they're appropriate, you guys can share them with us. And if they're not appropriate, if you make them appropriate and change the wording, we'll broadcast it. But if you guys have a show story. If you guys have a story you guys would like to share about life in general, you guys can send it to us. You guys can send it to me if you guys like me to watch it and read it and share it with her, or you can send it to her and she can share it with me, or either
both of us.
Or both of us.
We're pretty
you
much
can send
people.
it to dylant@matthewsradio.net and
Valerie at matthewsradio.net.
there you go, you got it.
I feel accomplished in life.
Accomplished is what we are. We are doing God's work with this, so you'll probably see 2 more videos that are cut off because the software that we recorded with, for some reason, was only allowing us to record 8 minutes and some change on the recording time.
Some change, honey. This is not a payment.
Speaking of payments, if you guys would like to donate, you guys can donate anytime, day or night.
At www.matthewsradio.net/donate. And
Yes.
you can do it at a monthly increment, or you can do a one-time offer. It doesn't matter. We just would appreciate the donations.
Yes.
I'm a little bit ecstatic.
Soon we'll be doing we're adding a lot of stuff in the coming months. We've already got a Roku app developed. It's now available for download on your Roku devices. You guys can search us on your Roku devices.
And be couch potatoes, maybe.
Yes, if you're at home and have nothing else to do, or even if you got something else to do, you can always turn us on in the background and listen to us while you're working at home. If you guys have a home office,
I mean, I'm pretty sure when our voices come on, they're all like, honey, person, it's them. It's real people.
yes. So you guys are welcome to listen on your Roku devices, Amazon Kindle Fire tablets.
iOS.
That's a specific Amazon device. So if you guys have an Amazon phone or anything like that, we aren't compatible with that because they stopped supporting that for Amazon. But you guys can listen on your Amazon Kindle Fire tablets, iOS devices, your iPads, iPod Touches, and iPhones. Also, your Android devices. And there's, of course, if you guys like to request a song, you guys can go to our website, matthewsradio.net.
We're pretty happy right now, so...
Yeah, we're always happy. What is this nonsense of non-happiness?
I don't know, Lol. I do believe that the world is just a bit hectic, but we're happy, and it's because God's doing good in all of us. And He's
alive in all of us. All of us, even if we're unbelievers, He's always pursuing this. That's why you got this little voice in your head saying, don't do this, do this. Go here because you'll get this.
And sometimes...
That's the Holy Spirit, but you gotta listen to it.
And here's the thing is, a lot of people, they sit there and they decide to choose their own path, and sometimes God will stop you from doing something because He wants you to go in a specific direction where He knows it'll be safe, and if you're in another direction, it's like, you know, listen to me.
Yeah.
He's yelling at you saying, hey, I love you.
Follow me, open this door so I can come in.
I finally was opening the door. I mean, I've always been a believer, but I didn't open the door till I was 18 and whatnot. So I'm pretty happy, and I'm really happy that I got this man in my life.
What do you think about selling these t-shirts? I mean, they're backwards right now because our camera's facing us instead of... It's like reversed. But... but what do you think about selling our t-shirts?
I think that'd be great. I mean, people can be like, dude, look at my new shirt. It's Matthew's Radio. You can listen to it.
Yeah. These shirts will be available online soon. They'll be available for $22. I think that's a reasonable price. $22? 25 bucks? You think 25 bucks would work?
20.
No.
25.
Because people will pay for them. If they like the station. Another way you guys can help fund Matthew's Radio is by purchasing different items that we will be having on our website. You guys can purchase our t-shirts soon. We'll add them onto we'll have a online store added to our radio station's webpage, so you'll be able to purchase things. That's how you'll be able to help fund Matthew's Radio if you guys can't donate, but you guys need a t-shirt.
Here's food for thought. What about bracelets?
We could.
And bracelets would be cool. Like, it can look like you're strong enough, except it'd be like white. No, not white. Like,
no, it'd be black, and it'd probably say something along the lines of
Radio for a Difference.
I don't know.
Or maybe God is on the move. Oh, I love making him laugh.
Oh man, that is epic. So we are live from our studio in Lake Arrowhead right now. You see a mirror behind us, but that's okay.
It's the reflection of our life.
Yes, our life in a video.
Here's a haiku. Leaves falling, world changing, people sleeping. I am so sorry, guys. This is me when I'm super happy. I try to make everybody laugh.
We look really red right now. I think we just turned red.
I think we're tomatoes.
Or we just need light. I mean, the lighting from the outside didn't...
What happened to the lamp, babe?
I unplugged it because I plugged in the printer.
How dare you?
I know, right? I will be right back because I have to turn on some lighting.
Okay.
You can continue talking.
Hey, look, guys, I'm a tree. I'm blowing in the wind gracefully.
Walking in the wind.
Well, wait, isn't that a One Direction song?
Yes, that is.
Gosh. It's kind of funny that I know that.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, Phineas. We've been watching a lot of Phineas and Ferb. It's actually a very good kids program for you parents that want to watch some shows with your kids. It's for all ages. You can laugh at it, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And
even though I'm over here struggling to plug in a cord, you guys can still hear me. Hear me in the struggle.
The struggle. Hashtag the struggle is real, but God's real.
Oh, there it is. That much brighter. We're not red anymore.
We're not tomatoes.
So.
I'll never doubt you.
Oh yeah. So currently playing on Matthew's Radio is Owl City.
The song is You're Not Alone, and it's the truth. You're never alone.
You're never alone when you're walking.
And that's deep, man.
That's true. You guys can call us here anytime, day or night. 442-777-5510.
Did you just say that because the
phone just... Yeah, it just turned back on. I had to plug it back in. But yeah, you guys are able to call us here at any time.
I mean, even if you need help or advice on maybe getting a proposal ready, or maybe just in live in general.
Or if you guys would like to be on air with us while we're recording, we can definitely do that.
assist you with anything, and
Yeah.
and it's awesome. And I'm a little bit jittery right now. I don't know why. I guess
You're happy. You're excited. That's awesome. You're supposed to be happy and excited.
Yes.
There's a 2 thumbs up for that one.
Oh, and 4 for. Well,
We'll be going live on Facebook after this video.
I'm just really hyped right now. So I'm probably gonna go down.
Why
to
are
the
you
store.
going?
Well, after we finish this video, so I can get a bag of chips.
Are you really that hyper right now? What did you have some soda?
No,
Did you drink soda?
no, love.
What about coffee?
No,
Did you have any sugar?
no.
Are you sure?
I'm sure, love. I haven't eaten since last night.
Oh yeah, we had mac and cheese last night. That was some good mac and cheese.
But
I made homemade mac and cheese on Sunday, and we're still eating leftovers. It is awesome.
so how are the young couples that are married doing right now?
Yeah, we're about to run up on our year anniversary in about
It's
2
honestly,
weeks.
and it's honestly been a really good experience. And I want you guys to know that you may be struggling right now with your spouse, but God is.
He's
good,
always on the move.
and He's always going to be making sure that
You're taken care of.
And also, when
You hate it when I finish your sentences?
but the thing is that
He loves you.
God loves you, and God loves the person. God brought this person to you,
Not me. Not me to you, but me to her.
and it says in the Bible, I believe it's in Matthew, that what God has brought together, shall never be separated. And
Yes, we are in this for life.
and I really do, and it also takes a lot of patience for
Yes, a lot of patience.
Like for me, I'm not gonna lie, I did some things in my life and in my marriage,
You're all good. You're all
And-
good, love.
and it's gonna take some time for things to be.
Oh, I like that look on you. See, look at the camera.
Neat.
Look at the camera. Look at the video. See the hair?
For things to be opened up, and you know what? It's gonna take as long as it takes. I'll be happy, and thank you for making me look like. Who is she? It's Bam Bam's sister from the Flintstones. All I need
I
now.
like that though. That actually looks cool. Oh, you're mean.
No, I was gonna be punk rocker.
That's punk rocker. So, oh yeah, this song.
But we just
On currently right now is the fray "How to Save a Life."
this song sort of reminds me of Robin Williams when he passed away.
This reminds me of my best friend who passed away at the age of 21 for heart failure because of a mistake a doctor made when doing open heart surgery.
It also reminded me of a friend I once knew, and this person was super depressed, and I couldn't. It's not that I couldn't. It's just this person didn't want help, and that's the thing is in life, people are not always gonna want help, but when they have God in their lives and you show them Christ,
They begin to understand why they're here on earth. I mean, all of us are here for a purpose. All of us are here to...
we are like broken crayons.
Yes, we're broken crayons.
Or
and Christ,
broken glass.
Christ melts us back together. He melts us in the specific, molds us in the specific form that we're supposed to be in, even before we're born. I mean, there are things that I don't want to do in life, but I do them because I'm faithful. I say, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this because I said I would. I said I'd follow Christ, so I'm going to follow Christ, and I'm going to do what Christ tells me to, what I'm guided to be told to do.
And the thing is with me is not very many people know this about me because I'm nice and I'm calm most of the time. And if I'm not calm, I'm on a rampage. But when it comes to Christ, I am like a lieutenant colonel. I will do anything for Jesus. I love Jesus because he loved me. And the fact that
Anything for Jesus?
I will.
That's good. That's good. Me too. I didn't want to start a radio station, but I did because I got told to.
Like the other day, I was reading the Bible and I was getting frustrated because I was trying to do a Bible study. And the thing is that God will lead you to places where you need to be.
Yes.
And I ran in, and here's the thing, I was going to go on a trip to Cedar Point by myself walking. God told me, Valerie, go back to Lake Arrowhead so
Go
we
back
can
to the
talk.
village so we can talk.
And we ended up talking, and he was telling me to look at Matthew 17, chapter 17. And it talks about where Peter and Elijah, I think. Well, two of Jesus' disciples, they go up to the mountain with Jesus, and Jesus reveals himself to them. And he says, do not be afraid. And it's true, because you don't have to be afraid when it comes to him.
You can always, you can sit there and walk down a road and he'll be right next to you. He'll protect you from anything and everything that comes your way.
And I think I understood why he showed me that, because when I was running across the street, I was scared to even go across the highway from where I was at, because there were cars and trucks, and I don't handle that very, very well.
No one does, love. I mean, everything that we do, I mean, me and her, everything that me and my wife do, it's because Christ wants us to. We're walking on a straight and narrow path. We have to, because if we don't, we end up in a place that we shouldn't be.
You may think that we are the perfect married couple, but really, guys, we aren't.
There are tests, there are attacks. I mean, if you guys have been up to date with how we've been working our broadcast was down for nearly 2 weeks because we were attacked. I mean, we had the funding there, but
I mean,
the bill didn't get paid because the devil's all like, okay, since I'm got dominion over the earth, I'm going to sit there and make sure this doesn't get paid so you guys can't broadcast.
This is basically the devil's to-do list. Okay, now I'm on Valerie and Dylan's schedule. So, things to do today: destroy their marriage.
Destroy their ministry. I mean, that's a real thing. We were attacked.
The thing is that God always comes through.
Yes, he does. We had the money there. We had everything sitting in the bank account to pay for the station to stay on. And all of a sudden, it just disappeared. I kid you not. Our bill to keep our lights on was there. And the devil's all like, okay, since I can't take your money from you,
I'll take away your electricity.
I'll take the electricity away. It literally...
But
we literally got attacked, and we were without power here in our studio, and at our home.
But
we were without power and lost all of our goods, all of our food inside our refrigerator and freezer. We were without power for over 24 hours. I mean, and it got hot in here.
But the thing is that it was incredible how we were able to bond over those. Because that morning, I was getting a little bit frustrated because he was frustrated with the power not being on.
I mean,
and he told me, well, babe, get mad at me 20 hours from now. We never did get mad at each other, not once.
Well, the thing is, we didn't get mad at each other because we knew why it was happening. We knew that we were being attacked. We paid the bill. The bill got paid. It's just somebody... I'm going to sit there and say this. Somebody dug a hole and punctured an electrical cable, which sent the entire property. It's not just us. It was 100 other homes on the property that in our gated communities that went without power. The entire town was without power for a few hours because somebody decided, okay, I'm going to dig right here because this is where I need to dig. And it just so happened that there was a cable there. That, in my opinion, I believe that was directed at us because we're doing the work of Christ. We've got God and Christ and the Holy Spirit on our side. So the devil's all like, okay, since I can't stop something from happening, I'm going to delay it.
And the thing is, guys, is that this is like for the married couples, you guys have to understand that, just because your spouse is mad at you does not mean that they hate you.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they don't love you. They do. Mm-hmm. And it's also your job as a person to make sure that when you mess up that you correct yourself. Because the other night, I don't know what happens, but like whenever my husband's family comes around, I become a little bit more bolder in a rude sense. And I had to correct myself immediately afterwards because it's like, you know, my husband is the host. My husband is my husband. I can't sit there and do that. And for people who are dealing with like doubts, like, oh, is my spouse doing this? Is my spouse doing that? Or what is my spouse not doing? Do your best to shut out those assumptions because
the negativity can kill your relationship.
And a lot of it.
It's okay. Look at the camera.
And a lot of the times, it's better to be silent. And I'm not just saying that like with like in arguments. I'm saying that in general because
silent in a good way.
Because
what she means by silent is keeping all of the negative comments, the negative reactions, the firing back, the poking, all of those negative things. Keep those silent because those don't help.
And also
be positive.
And also, when you're silent, it gives God.
When you're not just when you're silent, when you're listening to God talk to you, He'll open doors.
That's why a lot of the times I'm quiet. It's not because I'm depressed or anything. It's because God is. I'm trying to keep a negative thought from emerging out into the surface because, believe it or not, guys, I struggle with negativity almost all the time. Like
if you guys are struggling with negativity and unhappiness or depression or any of those other negative feelings that don't have a positive impact on your life, keep working at it because it will get better. You will accumulate a habit that your brain automatically shuts those things out. It takes 4 days for a body to gain a habit. So if you're consistently doing it and don't give up on it and don't relapse, I guess you could say, on the negativity, 4 days later you should be able to gain a habit. That habit has to continue though.
See, the thing is that people seem to think that sin is just drinking, drugs, and sex and pornography. It can also be negativity, anger.
Yes, negativity, anger, yelling for no reason. Those
cussing
things right there.
At people just because they're like it's these things, they can be considered sins, and it's because it's not peace. So when you have God, when God comes into your life and you ask for forgiveness and you're asking him to take something away, it's for your benefit because
and you have to let him take it. You can't give it to him, and then as soon as you get scared because you're something's different and something's out of place, you don't know what this feeling is, you can't go pull it back. If you pull it back, you're going to start off right where you started. And you're going to have to restart the entire process.
Like, here's an example. Last night when I was in the shower, something that was in my past was coursing through my mind. And I was like, okay, I did the right thing. That was the conclusive part of this thing. I did the right thing. And Jesus, I was talking to Jesus. I was like, Jesus, I don't know what to do here. And Jesus was all like, okay, Valerie, do you want me? You're holding on to this. Do you want to keep it or do you want to let go of it? I'm like, I want to let go of it. And so it was like he was stretching out his hand and
said, here, put it in my hand. Let me take it. If you don't put it in my hand, I can't take it.
And that's the thing. The devil will try to. It's like you're a dog to the devil. Like, he'll be like, oh, do you want to look at this sin? Come over here. Look at this sin.
Remember this memory? This bad memory that you had? Why don't we go look over here? But guess what? There's
God is on the move.
Oh, you stole my light. You stole the show.
No,
but seriously, if you allow God to take your problems away, he'll take them away.
And here's the thing is, while my husband was playing video games yesterday, I was watching him play them, and I was still sort of like, I wasn't struggling with, oh, thank you. I wasn't struggling with this thought because I already given it up. What I was struggling with was the hurt. And so God sort of like put me to sleep for a couple of minutes, and after that I was happy.
Yeah, she woke up. It was actually a little weird. She woke up, she went to bed, she fell asleep for a few minutes. Before she fell asleep, she had this vibe that I'm not used to. I had to separate myself from a vibe that because it wasn't good. She went to sleep for a few minutes. She woke up. It scared me. It scared me. I kid you not. It was it was a very scary moment because she woke up happy. It was scary. It was not a bad scary. It was a good scary, but it was still scary.
And the thing is that God has changed my heart. Like, people, like, when I do a church one of these days, and I talk about marriage, I'm going to be telling them, you know, my first year of marriage was really rough because I was the most of the cause. I caused a lot of pain for my husband to the point where he was not allowed, where he did not, for a long time, he wouldn't open up to me. And I know this is going to be in the future that he will, and I believe that God will,
I have my own set of mistakes that I've made and things that have occurred in my life. I will eventually get to sharing them. I'm more likely to share them on video than I am in private with my own life. And that's good yet bad at the same time. I mean, I'm not holding on to them. It's just I don't want to share them.
And it's because, also another thing, ladies, don't ever judge your husband.
When your husband tells you something in confidence, don't use it at a later date.
Like, keep it to yourself. You may not, as a woman, you may not like hearing stuff that they tell you.
When your husband talks to you, think about it as you're just listening, you're not talking. You're listening, and then the minute he's done, it's never spoken of again unless he brings it up.
I mean, the thing is that a lot of the things that I struggled with was my past and my husband's past. And being a believer,
that past
is gone.
It's gone in the sense of it's not there anymore, but it still haunts you. The devil uses your past before you became a believer to tempt you and say, hey, why don't we go do this? Why don't we do this? I'm going to put this thought in your head, because if I put this thought in your head, you're going to make a mistake and you're going to blow up. Well, those temptations are always going to be there. They will always be there. I deal with certain things that occurred in my past. You guys will eventually hear about it once I'm more comfortable with talking about it. But in the meantime, there will always be, every single day, there's always something that gets put into people's heads. And they have to sit there and say, no, get away. This is not something that you have authority over.
And this is how you know that God works. Is I struggle with. I'm gonna be honest here. I struggled with weed. I struggled with pornography. I have those temptations almost every day. It's like a beckoning thought, and I have to sit there and say, no, man, this is not the way that God has put me out to be. God put me out to be a loving spouse, to never do those things again, because it'll destroy me and my marriage.
And here's a little snippet of my past. I grew up in the foster care system. It wasn't very good. It was sort of heart-wrenching, I guess you could call it. I became my own individual, my own self-sufficient. I knew that there was a God. I knew that there was the Holy Spirit. I knew that there was Jesus Christ. And I believed that they existed. I walked away from that when I was 17. I walked away from it because I was like, okay, I'm still dealing with all of this nonsense. And why? Why do I have to deal with it? Why is it being allowed there? Well, if you're going through something right now, there's a 100% chance that you're going through something, because guess what? Once you have that experience, and I'm not saying it's good, it's all, when you go through a bad experience, don't get me wrong, it is horrible. It is a bad thing to have to go through, but guess what? If you're not going through those situations, you can't help others in those situations. Me, when I was a kid, this is before, I guess, it was I was 9, 10, I was 10 years old at the time. And I was in a group home. I never ended up in a foster home. This is where our ministry comes into play. I mean, because you've got foster kids that don't have homes. There are homeless foster youth. And the state allows them to be homeless. They literally kick them on the streets with nothing because they don't want to take care of them. They don't want to help them. Our ministry is that exactly. This is something that's been on my heart for a long time. I'm going to get to it in a minute, but back to when I was 10 years old, I was taken advantage of by another kid that was in the group home. And it set me up for a lot of setbacks over the coming years. I mean, there were a lot of problems that I had, a lot of attractions that I shouldn't have had that were there. And those haunt me every single day. But guess what? I don't allow them to haunt me in a bad way. When I am looking at them, when I see those memories, when I have those memories, I'm looking back on them and saying, guess what? I'm not there anymore. I'm here. I'm here and I'm in the now, and I'm focused on a specific plan that cannot be altered, because guess what? If I'm focused on a plan that cannot be altered, I have no reason to be afraid of my past. I don't talk about it because it's a lot harder to talk one-on-one. When you're talking on camera, it's a lot easier for me to do because I can sit there and the people who are watching, they're not next to me. That's why I can talk easier next to you while we're on camera versus just us talking to each other.
I understand that.
And that's probably going to be the main way you find things out about my past, about my childhood, because I can't. It's just something that is easier for me to do. It's the easy route. I'd rather take the easy route to my end destination. Why would I try climbing a mountain when I could just go through the tunnel?
I mean, as a woman, I want to be able to give you that comfort. And you know, when you're like, I remember when I first came out here and visited him, he was crying because he thought that he couldn't support me as a wife.
Yeah, I was devastated because I didn't have an income. I didn't have a budget. I didn't have any of that. I lived in a little beat up studio apartment that it had a stove, an actual oven, but I could only heat one pan at a time. Otherwise, the entire house would start smoking up. I mean, I had nothing to be able to provide for my wife or my family. And I mean, the video's gone a lot longer than I thought it would. I mean, we've been on here for just about a half hour, but I mean, I had nothing, and still, I was okay with that. I was okay. Yeah, I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to support my own family and whatnot, but
I still stuck by him. Right?
She stuck by me, and on top of that, I knew I was taken care of. I knew that regardless of where I lived, whether it was in a studio apartment that was just bad, I knew I was taken care of. I always had food on the table. I always had a bed to lay on. I always had a roof over my head, and I always had clothes to wear.
And the thing is that one thing that I'm really good at is being loyal as a friend. As a spouse, it's a little more difficult. It's a bit different because you're trying to be a friend, but also be a nurturer as a woman. And you're also trying to give them advice on what to do and what not to do. And hey, you should do this, babe, because this is better for you. But a lot of the times, people will make choices in life. And November is a lot harder for me because when I was a kid, my mom, this is a little bit personal, and you know what? I'm just gonna say it. My mom used to smoke weed like I was. And one Thanksgiving. Okay. Okay. Well. Okay. Well, let me sort of backtrack it because I'm gonna get personal, but not too personal. My mother made some choices in life that, you know, didn't really benefit us as kids. And this one year, she got mad because something didn't happen the way it should, and it ended up where my brother and I had to eat Thanksgiving by ourselves. And I don't like Thanksgiving. I mean, I love Thanksgiving as a holiday, but I don't like November because a lot of the stuff that has happened to me, it's either family issues or even I had to help someone get out of being on something, and making sure that they didn't freak out or anything or have a seizure.
The holiday seasons, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, you can either make them the best thing ever. Yes, you may have had an issue that caused you not to like them, but guess what? If you are willing to allow those things to go away, and if you're willing to let them go, you can make a holiday season, you can make a Thanksgiving the best Thanksgiving ever. This year, I had the best Thanksgiving dinner. Yes, it's not Thanksgiving yet. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, by the way. So happy Thanksgiving to you all who are celebrating tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrated this last weekend with us. But you can either make your day better and be happy and positive, or you can be negative and depressed and angry and keep your everything balled up in here and just keep it in here.
You know, the reason why I'm big on Christmas is...
Scoot back. Oh, hello everybody. My name is Dylan Terrence Matthews. I'm co-founder of Matthews Radio, and I have the other co-founder sitting next to me.
My name is Valerie Matthews. Hello, world.
So, we were recording a video. Software was a little haywire.
Yeah. But we are so happy
to announce that we have a new feature added to our radio station. You guys can now request your songs on our website.
I'm pretty sure the moment that they know about this, they're going to be freaking out. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can finally play Jesus is Life. And then when it finally comes on, they'll be like, honey, Jesus is Life is on.
There are set increments on how often those requests can be played because of royalty fees and all of that. So, we do have a list. We have a list of over 1,200 songs, 1,200 different recordings. Even our recorded archives that we record, you guys can request it too. So, in
case you want to listen to our infamous blooper hour.
Yeah, our 10-minute blooper hour that we recorded before before Halloween.
We're gonna be doing more blooper hours. I mean, Blooperville, blooper hour, whichever way you want to call it.
True. Yeah, whichever you'd like to call it. I mean,
you gotta give us a topic so we can goof on about it. Like, you know, maybe traffic jams, how annoying they can be.
Yeah, they can be, but they have to be family friendly.
I know.
If you guys have any stories that you guys would like to share regarding life in general, as long as they're appropriate, I guess you could say. As long as they're appropriate, you guys can share them with us. And if they're not appropriate, you make them appropriate and change the wording, we'll broadcast it. But if you guys have a show story. If you guys have a story you guys would like to share about life in general, you guys can send it to us. You guys can send it to me if you guys like me to watch it and read it and share it with her, or you can send it to her and she can share it with me, or either or both of us.
We're pretty
you
much
can send
people.
it to Dylan T at MatthewsRadio.net and
Valerie at MatthewsRadio.net.
there you go, you got it.
I feel accomplished in life.
Accomplished is what we are. We are doing God's work with this, so you'll probably see 2 more videos that are cut off because the software that we recorded with, for some reason, was only allowing us to record 8 minutes and some change on the recording time.
Some change, honey. This is not a payment.
Speaking of payments, if you guys would like to donate, you guys can donate anytime, day or night.
At www.matthewsradio.net/donate. And
Yes.
you can do it at a monthly increment or you can do a one-time offer. It doesn't matter. We just would appreciate the donations.
Yes.
I'm a little bit ecstatic.
Soon we'll be doing we're adding a lot of stuff in the coming months. We've already got a Roku app developed. It's now available for download on your Roku devices. You guys can search us on your Roku devices.
And be couch potatoes, maybe.
Yes, if you're at home and have nothing else to do, or you're listening to Matthews Radio, KMRDO, Matthews Radio.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Valerie Matthews, and this is the afternoon mashup on Matthews Radio. Radio for a difference. Oh wow!
And we are back. Scoop back. Oh, hello everybody. My name is Dylan Terrence Matthews. I'm co-founder of Matthews Radio, and I have the other co-founder sitting next to me.
My name is Valerie Matthews. Hello, world.
So we were recording a video. Software was a little haywire.
Yeah, but we are so happy
to announce that we have a new feature added to our radio station. You guys can now request your songs on our website.
I'm pretty sure the moment that they know about this, they're going to be freaking out. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can finally play Jesus' Life. And then when it finally comes on, they'll be like, honey, Jesus' Life is on.
There are set increments on how often those requests can be played because of royalty fees and all of that. So we do have a list. We have a list of over 1,200 songs, 1,200 different recordings. Even our recorded archives that we record, you guys can request it too. So
in case you want to listen to our infamous blooper hour.
Yeah, our 10-minute blooper hour that we recorded before before Halloween.
We're gonna be doing more blooper hours. I mean blooperville, blooper hour, whichever way you want to call it.
True. Yeah, whichever you'd like to call it. I mean,
you gotta give us a topic so we can goof on about it. Like, maybe traffic jams, how annoying they can be.
Yeah, they can be, but they have to be family friendly.
I know.
If you guys have any stories that you guys would like to share regarding life in general, as long as they're appropriate, I guess you could say. As long as they're appropriate, you guys can share them with us. And if they're not appropriate, you make them appropriate and change the wording, we'll broadcast it. But if you guys have a show story. If you guys have a story you guys would like to share about life in general, you guys can send it to us. You guys can either send it to me if you guys like me to watch it and read it and share it with her, or you can send it to her and she can share it with me, or either
both
or,
of us.
Or both of us.
We're pretty
you
much
can send
happy
it to Dylan T at MatthewsRadio.net and
Valerie at MatthewsRadio.net.
there you go, you got it.
I feel accomplished in life.
Accomplished is what we are. We are doing God's work with this, so you'll probably see 2 more videos that are cut off because the software. Scoop back. Oh, hello everybody. My name is Dylan Terrence Matthews. I'm co-founder of Matthews Radio, and I have the other co-founder sitting next to me.
My name is Valerie Matthews. Hello, world.
So we were recording a video. Software was a little haywire.
Yeah, but we are so happy
to announce that we have a new feature added to our radio station. You guys can now request your songs on our website.
I'm pretty sure the moment that they know about this, they're gonna be freaking out. They're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I can finally play Jesus' Life!" And then when it finally comes on, they'll be like, "Honey, Jesus' Life is on."
There are set increments on how often those requests can be played because of royalty fees and all of that. So, we do have a list. You guys can. We have a list of over 1,200 songs, 1,200 different recordings. Even our recorded archives that we record, you guys can request it too. So,
in case you want to listen to our infamous blooper hour.
Yeah, our 10-minute blooper hour that we recorded before before Halloween.
We're gonna be doing more blooper hours. I mean, Blooperville, blooper hour, whichever way you want to call it.
True. Yeah, whichever you'd like to call it. I mean,
you guys gotta give us a topic so we can goof on about it. Like, you know, maybe traffic jams, how annoying they can be.
Yeah, they can be, but they have to be family friendly.
I know.
If you guys have any stories that you guys would like to share regarding life in general, as long as they're appropriate, I guess you could say. As long as they're appropriate, you guys can share them with us. And if they're not appropriate, you make them appropriate and change the wording, we'll broadcast it. But if you guys have a show story. If you guys have a story you guys would like to share about life in general, you guys can send it to us. You guys can send it to me if you guys like me to watch it and read it and share it with her, or you can send it to her and she can share it with me, or either
both of us.
Or both of us.
We're pretty
you
much
can send
happy
it to DylanT@MatthewsRadio.net and
Valerie@MatthewsRadio.net.
There you go, you got it.
I feel accomplished in life.
Accomplished is what we are. We are doing God's work with this. So you'll probably see 2 more videos that are cut off because the software that we recorded with, for some reason, was only allowing us to record 8 minutes and some change on the recording time.
Some change, honey. This is not a payment.
Speaking of payments, if you guys would like to donate, you guys can donate anytime, day or night.
At www.matthewsradio.net/donate. And
Yes.
you can do it in a monthly increment or you can do a one-time offer. It doesn't matter. We just would appreciate the donations.
Yes.
I'm a
Soon
little bit ecstatic.
Soon we'll be doing we're adding a lot of stuff in the coming months. We've already got a Roku app developed. It's now available for download on your Roku devices. You guys can search us on your Roku devices.
And be